Hello, everybody. My name is Sandy. Welcome to the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, Soulcast. That's what we're calling this instead of a podcast now. I'm joined today by Anna, our self-care doula, and this is our midweek reset. And apparently, I can't talk today. But welcome, everybody. We just love to come together here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers to share meditation, breath work, yoga, sound healing. Art therapy has been a new thing that we've been doing here at the chapel. And in fact, this Friday night for our Integrated Recovery Practices Support Group, we have kind of a double header. We have Matt taking us upstairs to the third floor to do probably about an hour breathwork session, so about twice the length of what we usually do here on the podcast. But then that's going to be followed by coming downstairs for another art therapy type project where Matt wants us to create a flip book. So that we will actually have something tangible to take home with us to sort of like meditate with and manifest with and integrate with. So integration is a word that comes up here a lot at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers, and that can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I think we're just trying to integrate the feelings that we get, when we are in these states of bliss into our day-to-day lives. Like very simply, right? And I feel like yoga is an amazing tool to find the pauses, to reconnect, to yourself and to the people around you. And I just wanted to express my gratitude today to Anna for always showing up and for showing up with your authentic self. And I know that we are only human and that you've just been such an amazing human in my life to just sort of be with and to hold space with and to a lot of the members in the community. So Anna is here every Wednesday, so you guys don't be shy. Come on down to the chapel and do yoga live with us in person. But regardless, we're going to be here, right? And that's what it's all about. We're going to show up for each other and for ourselves and have this amazing accountability.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Anna, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, first I want to welcome Cheryl. Thank you. Charlene, excuse me. I had a student in mind. Charlene, our beautiful Charlene, because you haven't been here in a while.
I know, and I showed up.
Yeah, you showed up. So, which today, it is all about showing up. I mean, every day is all about showing up. And I busted out my Heart Talk by Cleo Wade because she's amazing. If you don't know her, follow her on Instagram. She's just an amazing poet and heart healer. So this is going to be my book of the month. So, and it's all about the heart. And I've really been talking a lot about leading these practices with heart or heart-led practices. That is what inspires my practice and my philosophies. The bridge is the heart to our subtle bodies and our layers. Without that, it's hard for us to rise. I mean, we all physically have a heart. But I think these practices, breathing, connecting with our creativity, moving our body, so somatic movement, breath work, all of that connects with our hearts. And I was talking a lot about, today's February 1st, the month of love. Some of us cringe at the sound of that, or some of us embrace the whole love around the month of February. But really, it's what we can create here and the joys that we can create here that connect with our heart is what we can carry forward through the month of February and beyond, because I think when we create these moments of bliss, there's so much that happens. It's not only just a blissful state, but in that state of relaxation, in joy, in finding that love, which is the highest vibration, that's where your body really begins its healing process. So, and that is our authentic selves, our truth, which is why I love to be here. Sometimes I'm like, well, I don't look like your average yoga teacher, and I don't want to look like that. I want to be who I am and feel comfortable here. And if I make mistakes, they're happy mistakes. And we all laugh at ourselves and we keep it lighthearted. But, and then we do hold space for those who have heavy hearts, who are grieving, who need us to bring that support or, pull people in, let you guys know that you're not alone, that we're not alone here, and that we're here to support you. And that is why we have our passions to support others and be of service. So, Reiki, yoga therapy, yoga classes, by all means, resource yourself because you're number one and it's self-care first. So that's why I do call myself the self-care doula because I'm an advocate. And first things first.
Advocate of self-love. I
Self-
love that.
and self-care. I mean,
Self-care, yeah.
self-care, which I will quote and read here briefly from Cleo Wade. Self-care is how we fuel our self-love so that we are able to share our love with everyone around us. Our hearts are warm when we are able to show up with generosity, patience, and compassion for the ones we love. But we must remember that it is impossible to truly be there for others without taking care of ourselves first. We take care of ourselves by asking what our needs are. We take care of ourselves by making healthy choices when it comes to our physical and emotional bodies. We take care of ourselves by lightening up and not being so damn hard on ourselves. At times, life seems to be one never-ending to-do list, but we must learn to disrupt the flood of life's demands in order to replenish our energy so that we can fully show up for all of our passions and responsibilities. It does not benefit anyone when we live our lives running on fumes. Love is an action, a thing in motion, therefore, it requires fuel. So here we are. Only a full tank can go the distance.
Mm.
So with that, we're going to sink into our hearts today. We're going to sit up nice and tall.
I love
So if you're joining us, so this practice here is for all levels. My style is a self-love practice of slowing down the movement. We're always in a go, 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 fight or flight state, and I want to pull us out of that state and bring us into our own bodies. And there can be a lot of discomfort with that. Sometimes, we don't like, a lot of us don't like being in our own bodies sometimes, but it is really a good way to come to yourself and begin the healing process through the connection of your heart. So on that, we're going to sit up nice and tall, feel our sits bones underneath our seat. If you're in a chair joining us, I so welcome that because this is a gentle practice, and whether you are an experienced practitioner or you're just beginning, we always want you to feel welcome here. I always invite free movement into the body, so you all know your bodies best. Listen to your bodies. Don't do anything that causes more pain in the body. Yoga shouldn't create more pain, but it should ease the inflammation in the body. So I'm going to invite you now to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And let's settle into our breath by coming into that natural rhythm of our breath state. In and out the nose. It is about the middle of the day, so lots has happened at this point. So take the exhale and just let go of everything that has happened up to this point. Bring yourself to the present moment. And taking a moment to ask yourself what it is you need. The obvious answer is being here for this yoga practice, but maybe there's something deeper. Maybe you want to manifest something or release something. So as we settle into the breath, begin to lengthen the inhales, really feeling the belly expand, exhaling, letting the belly fall. Taking a few rounds of deep breaths, expanding the diaphragm and slowing down the exhale. Bringing the awareness to the crown of the head and making that connection towards the sky as you lengthen the spine, slightly tuck the chin. Draw the shoulders towards the earth. If you need a little extra grounding today, palms down on your lap is very grounding. If you are in a place to receive, palms up. You're always welcome into a Gyan Mudra with the index fingers and thumbs touching, palms up, 3 additional fingers extended. And I just love reminding people that the index finger and the thumb are connected to our pituitary gland and our pineal gland in the brain that stimulates our intuition and inner wisdom. So these nerve endings in the fingers here, they matter very much. On the next breath, take a moment to press the sternum forward. Heart shifts forward, bring your shoulders back. Lengthen through the crown. And if you want to keep your hands where they are, you can. I'm inviting you to set an intention. If you want to bring your hands to heart center and Kundalini Mudra, you're also welcome to do that. Letting the thumbs touch the sternum. And let's all take a moment here as I invite you to bring in your intention, creating an intention for your practice. Remembering that it is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives. And these intentions intensify with the intention of love behind them. All taking a deep breath in together and a slow exhale out. All swelling at the back of our throats and fluttering our eyes open. And this is where I love to say namaste and welcome everyone to this beautiful practice of self-care. So let's release the hands, bring the hands to the lap, and gently begin to roll the shoulders back. Syncing the breath with the exhale and the inhale. And then coming to stillness. Let's inhale the arms up above the head. Bring the palms together to touch, and then exhale, bring the hands to heart. Inhale, let your palms rise. And exhale, let them float down. Let's reach back. Palms face each other. Press the sternum forward. So heart presses forward. Then let's soften the shoulders. Arms begin to soften. Let's sweep the arms up again. Up above the head, and then exhale, float the arms down. Let's bring that left hand to the floor. Inhale that right arm up and over. Reach through the fingertips. So if you notice that your elbow is bending as you're reaching, see if you can extend that elbow. Keep the energy line nice and free. And then let's float that arm down. Other side. Left arm rises. Take the awareness of the elbow and let it extend if you're bending it. Gaze can be forward or towards the bicep. Take a nice deep breath in and gently float that arm back down. Let's bring the hands to the lap and do a little seated cat-cow. On the inhale, press the heart forward, take the shoulders back, and the gaze is going to rise. And on the exhale, chin's going to move towards the chest. We're going to round the spine here. Inhale, lead with the heart. Take the gaze round the spine, chin moves towards the chest. Continue back and forth, syncing the breath with the movement. Remembering that it's very important to warm up the spine before we go into any kind of twisting movements. And then gently, let's come back to center. Lengthen through the crown on the inhale. Pull the navel in. We're going to begin to bring our body around our pelvic bowl. Bring the shoulders around. So I love having my friends behind me, but I'm so tempted to look back. So probably every now and then I'm going to take a peek back. And then come back to center. Lengthen through the crown. Let's pull the navel in. Drop the shoulders towards the earth. Take a deep breath in opposite direction. And let's come back to center. Let's take that right ear to the right shoulder. Come back to center, left ear to left shoulder. Back to center. Let's draw little circles with our nose. I like this movement. I think it's such a sweet little movement to move like that. And then let's go the opposite direction. It's like you're nuzzling something. And then come back to center. All right, let's inhale the arms up, reach up. Pull the navel in, and on the exhale, keeping a neutral spine, we're going to hinge at the hips and drop the arms down, palms face down on the mat. Take an inhale, lengthen through the crown here. Pull the navel in and feel like your palms are pulling the mat towards you as you hinge down. So not rounding the spine, not going as low as you can go, just gently, a gentle half hinge, unless you're really flexible and can keep the spine long as you come all the way down. But I'm just going to stay right here. And then gently walk the hands back towards you. Let's bring the legs around and come into a tabletop. Again, I'm a huge advocate of props, so if props help you access your yoga movements, and that's what we want, is to make yoga accessible to your body. So props really help us do that. So let's stack the shoulders over the wrists. Let's really grip the mat with our palms, really grounding those palms in. Fingers are nice and spread, middle finger pointing forward. The hips are stacked over the knees. And then take a peek at your feet. Sometimes our feet have their own mind, so they can sometimes turn in. So just aligning them with your knees. All right, so another cat-cow, but in a different position. Here we're going to inhale and drop the belly and take the gaze up. And on the exhale, we're going to flex the spine, curl in, chin moves towards the chest, press the mat away. Tuck the tail. Inhale. Drop the belly. Take the gaze up. And exhale. Round the spine. Curling back in. Inhale. Drop the belly and take the gaze upwards. Exhaling as you round in. Continue for a few more breaths. Syncing the breath with the movement. And then come back to center. Let's bring the hips back. Take a little shift forward. So let's take some shifts forward, some shifts back before we settle into a child's pose. So shifting back and forth. And now let's bring the hips back. Knees can stay where they are, and you can go into an extended child's pose, extending the arms forward, resting the third eye on the mat. If this is uncomfortable, you can bring yourself to a wide-legged child's pose, and that just creates more space for the body. And you can, again, ground the third eye, give it a little massage here. Option here to tent the fingers. Lift the palms up, tenting the fingers and reaching forward. And as you're doing that, if you're doing this, reach the hips back towards the heels as you simultaneously reach forward. And breathe into the back body here, into the back rib cage. My palms are going to come back to the mat. Walking my hands towards the knees, bring the knees closer together, and then come back to your tabletop. All right, let's get into the shoulders. We're going to thread the needle. On the inhale, let's bring that right arm all the way up to the sky, and then on the exhale, we're going to weave it through under that left arm. The right shoulder's going to drop, right temple's going to drop to the mat, and that left arm is going to reach ahead of you. So sometimes people here want to feel a little bit more. So if you want to stay here, you can, or you can lift the arm up and bring it behind you. That opens up the front of the shoulder. So that's just an option. I'm going to bring my arm back. And breathe into my right shoulder, the back of my right shoulder. And then I'm feeling a nice stretch here underneath the arm as my left arm is extended. Let's walk that left hand back towards us, gently lift ourselves up on the inhale. Bring that right arm up to reach the sky to open up the front of the right chest, and then float that arm down. Opposite side, left arm on the inhale rises to reach up to the sky and floats down on the exhale as we weave it under the right arm. Left shoulder drops, left temple drops, and that right arm extends forward. Or again, we can reach up with that right arm and bring it behind us, creating a different kind of sensation in the body. It all depends on what you want to feel. It is your practice. So again, breathing into the backs of the shoulders. Feeling the rib cage expand on the back side, and then relaxing the breath. Breathing nice and deep, and then relaxing the breath. Now let's walk that right hand towards us, gently lifting ourselves up. On the inhale, reach that left arm up high, and then exhale, float it back down. All right. Let's curl our toes under and bring our hips up. Come to our first downward facing dog. So heels do not have to touch the mat. And let's take a walk with our down dog, lifting one heel after the other. Take a moment here, lengthen the legs down towards the mat. Gently press the heart towards the thighs, pulling the navel in and pressing into those hands. So how do we take the weight off the wrists here a little bit is by really pressing into the palms of the hand. Press that index finger and the thumb and feel the shoulders shift. Let's lift the heels up high, bend the knees, and come to a hover here. Breathing nice and deep, and if it feels good to take that deep breath and exhale it out the mouth, let's do that. Just sighing it out. Again, you can extend back down, walk your dog if that feels good. Just take a moment here to move your body the way it feels good to you in this position. You can come to a plank. then gently shift back to down dog. Press the heart towards the thighs. And then let's walk our feet to meet our hands coming to the top of the mat. We're going to forward fold. Let's ragdoll here. You can let the arms dangle or take a bind elbow to elbow and take a little swing. And let my arms go. You can keep your arms in a bind or you can let your arms just dangle. Take a little nod to the head, a gaze to the left, to the right. Notice if you're holding on to the tension in your neck, let the head feel heavy. Let gravity do the work. You don't have to do any work here. And then if it feels good, you can release the bind. And if you want to take a little extra stretch, bring the hands underneath, fingers underneath the fronts of the feet here, under the toes, gently pressing into the hands with your feet, and then taking the crown towards the mat. And then you can release the hands. Take an inhale, bring the hands to the shins, soften the knees. Shoulders come away from the ears, gaze at the top of your mat, and then let's inhale. Arms come all the way up. We reach up and palms touch. Palms come to heart. All right, inhale, arms rise together. Let's bring them back for a nice micro back bend, and on the exhale, let's swan dive down to our forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then from here, let's bring the hands back down towards the mat, still in a forward fold, and let's heel toe our feet out to the edge of our mats. So taking a little wide stance here. Let's grab that left ankle with our right hand. Take a nice deep breath and lengthen through the crown here. So you lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, bend that right elbow, pull your heart towards your left thigh. Take a peek underneath the arm, and some deep breaths. Again, there can be a little soft bend in the knee so we don't hyperextend. And then let's release, come to center. Take that left hand to the right ankle, lengthen through the crown. So I'm peeking up at the top of my mat, lengthening through the crown. And on the exhale, taking my heart towards my right thigh. Peeking underneath my right arm. Again, remember that we can soften the knees if it feels too intense in the hamstring. Then let's release, come back to center. Inhale, lengthen through the crown here, coming to a half lift without really touching our shins here, just extending up. And then we're going to bend the knees and come into a malasana. So let's bring the heels in and bring the hips down. My biceps are resting in my inner thigh, and then I'm going to bring my hands into Anjali Mudra at the heart center and stay nice and lifted through the crown. We can take a sway here. And if the width of the mat might be too narrow for you, you can extend to just the comfort level where you want to take your hips. It just depends on your flexibility. So it's okay to be here, just as long as you're working on it. You're working on your squat here. Eventually, you will be able to come down, and even between bringing the hips all the way down, you can support malasana with blocks. All right, so let's gently press the upper arms into the inner thighs, creating a little bit of resistance, and then lengthen through the crown. Then let's drop the arms and place the hands on the mat and then gently take a sway forward. So I'm not going to lift my feet here, only my heels lift, and then I'm going to come back into Malasana, just very gently, taking a shift forward. If you have an advanced practice, you know where you're going with this, but I'm going to keep this nice and simple. So just doing this a few times, and this is building a little bit of arm strength here. All right, come back to center, hands come back to the heart. Drop the hands back again to the mat because actually we're going to lift the hips up and begin to heel toe the feet back to hip distance. Forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Feel the hips here. And arms come back up to touch. Bring them down to heart. All right, inhale, arms come back up. Take that stretch back for a little micro back bend here. And then on the exhale, we're going to forward fold. Soften the knees. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to a flat back. And then exhale, plant the palms. And take that right leg back, step back, bring that right knee down. Inhale, arms are going to rise into this low lunge, reach back. Exhale, float the arms down and then take the gaze forward. Inhale, arms rise again, parallel to the ears, and then float the arms shoulder height, palms face out. And notice that your left leg is forward. So we're going to go into eagle arms, and we're going to take the opposite side of the body. So the right arm is going to come underneath. The arms are going to cross. We're going to take eagle arms here. So if there's any shoulder issue, you're welcome to take eagle arms in this way. Or if you are having a hard time reaching the palms together, just crossing at the elbows and creating the pull of both forearms towards each other. So what you want to do is squeeze the forearms together, take a nice deep breath, let them work towards each other, opening up the backs of the shoulders, and on the next inhale, we're going to reach those elbows up, the gaze is going to rise, and we're going to take it back. Deep breaths. Take your time. And then let's lower down. Release the arms, reach back. And then inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Bracket the foot. Inhale, we're going to open up on the right side. So inhale that right arm up high, and then exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left arm rises. Reach up, open up the chest, and then gently bring it back down. All right, so from here, let's bring that left hand into the instep of the left foot. Let's go into a lizard pose. Bring that left foot out to the edge of your mat, heel toeing it there. So you are welcome here to just stay right here, or you can extend that right leg back to begin to drop into the hip. You can lift the floor up by bringing blocks in, so just depending, remember that if you do have blocks, there's 3 sides. That's 1, 2, 3. So it all just depends on how you want to feel this. So as you begin to get into your hips, the hips are going to feel like they're dropping towards the mat. Take your time to breathe into this posture. Noticing that as you breathe into the hip, you begin to loosen, and maybe you can drop down a little lower. You could even tilt that foot out to its outer edge. Really breathing just into the sensations and they can be intense. So I'm going to bring my foot flat again and gently lift myself back up. Option here, I'm going to stay nice and lifted to lift that back leg up to give a nice quad stretch. And I'm going to do that several times. I'm just going to gently lift my back leg and lower it, lift it back up and lower, and one more and lower. And then I'm going to heel toe my left foot back to center. Gently place your hands on your thigh and come to stand upright and lengthening through the crown up towards the sky. So this is where I'm going to invite you to drop that right hand as you bend that back leg, bend the right knee, and then reach out with that left hand to reach back. Now you can reach for the foot and then lift yourself up to get into this calf stretch, and then gently press that right foot into your hand. So if you want to take that deeply, and then release, come back to bracket the foot, and then from here let's curl the toes under that back foot, lift the back knee, and then let's bring that back foot to meet the front. Come to a forward fold. Bend one knee after the other. Inhale, hands on the shins, and let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch. Palms come to heart. So what we just did there, you can easily just stay where you feel comfortable, or like I said, there's always options if your body can reach back and make those binds. By all means, I just give the example, but you follow your body. On the inhale, bring the arms up, let's reach back. Exhale, let's swan dive down for your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, and then let's bracket the foot, bring the hands back. We're going to take that left foot back, coming into a low lunge. Let's shift the hips back, and then shift the hips forward. And now we're going to gently feel that shift back with the hips, and then get into that back hamstring that we just stretched, and bring the foot off to just place it on the heel here. So we're just lifting to keep the foot on the heel, and then gently come back here. Place the foot flat and inhale the arms up. Let's rise and reach back. Inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, we're going to gently drop down. Inhale that left arm up to open up on the left side. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reach up with the right. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, both arms up. Reach back. Exhale, flip the palms. Now let's reach back. Interlace the fingers. And gaze is forward. As you reach those wrists back, take the gaze up. And breathe. Notice your lower jaw. Take it a little bit forward to give yourself a nice little stretch in the front of the neck. Inhale, release the bind here. Arms come all the way back up. And then float the arms down. Bracket the foot. Heel toe that foot out. The right foot out to the edge of the mat. And then we're going to begin to adjust to get into our lizard. So the left leg can gently slide back to adjust into your hip. And then the hip's going to begin to reach down towards the mat. Again, you can stay right here, or you can take that deep breath and inhale and begin to lower the body, lower the chest down towards the mat. Again, you can take that right foot to its outer edge. And just breathe here. Remembering that through these breaths, you release that tension that can feel really challenging in the body. Breathing in love for yourself and how you're loving on your body right now, even if you may be feeling it very challenging. Then gently, I'm going to bring my hands back underneath me to lift my body up. And then I'm going to take my gaze forward, and we're going to gently inhale, lift that back leg up and down. Bring it back up, bring it back down. Not how high you go, just gentle movement. And then from here, let's heel toe that foot back in. So right foot, heel toes back in. And then we're going to inhale the arms up and reach back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, lower down. Let's take it the other side and lower down. All right, so I'm going to take us into the opposite. We did eagle arms both sides, right? All right, so here we're going to bring the hands up to the thigh, and we're going to sit nice and tall. And then I'm going to invite you to take that left hand inside the instep of that right foot. Okay, and then we're going to swim back. It's almost like taking a swim with that right arm to reach back as we reach back for that ankle or foot. Breathing into that quad. Again, it's okay to stay right here, just in the motion, because you are in the posture, or you can take the full bind. And then let's release, come back to center. Let's take a nice stretch again up. Let's come up and reach back. And then exhale, drop the arms, bracket the foot, curl the toes under of that left leg, of the left foot, and then bring that back foot to meet the front and come to a forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your flat back, and then let's root to rise, come all the way back up, palms touch, palms come to heart. Inhale, arms rise again. Look up at the palms and reach back. Exhale, softening the knees, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to your flat back, and then from here, plant the palms. We're going to step into a plank. Take both feet back, and then take a nice deep breath, and we're going to lift the hips up to a down dog. So after that last posture, walk your dog here. Get into the lengths of the backs of the legs. Let's come back to our plank. Take that right knee down, pivot that left foot, and then inhale the arm up. Okay, you can take a full side plank here, but I'm going to bring my knee down. So it all depends on your practice. Take the gaze up to the sky. Then let's flip that left palm back and then reach behind us. Bring that shoulder back. Inhale, arms come up. Again, you can stay with that arm nice and high. Let's float that arm back, come back down to our plank, and then press back into your downward facing dog. Shift forward, come back to your plank, drop that left knee, pivot that right foot, and then inhale that right arm up. Again, option here to flip the palm and reach behind you to open up the front of the right shoulder. gaze is up towards the sky. Really grounding that left shin in to keep stable. Inhale, arms rise again, so lifting up a nice, beautiful right arm, and then float that arm down. Come back to your plank. Shift back to down dog. And then let's walk our hands to meet our feet or at the back of the mat for our forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Let your palms touch, palms come to heart. Let's take a moment here just to come back to our breath. Done a lot of hard work. Heart rate is up. Just noticing what you feel in the body, maybe connecting to your heartbeat. Closing your eyes or softening the gaze, noticing the heat between your hands, the sensations in your fingers. All right, let's inhale, palms together. Let your palms rise above the head and reach back. Exhale, swan dive down here for your forward fold. Inhale for your half lift here. And then let's root to rise again. Come all the way back up. Arms stay up, parallel to the ears. We're going to sit in our chair. Shift the weight to the heels. Tuck the tail and lift the chest up. Reach up. So notice if your elbows are bending here. Extend your arms. So if you're feeling that the heart rate is getting too intense, you can lower your arms. Otherwise, keep them parallel to your ears. So shifting the weight into the heels, tucking the tail and sitting lower, lifting the heart, lifting the chest. Maybe sitting a little lower. From here, bring the hands together to heart. And then let's forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. Very flat back. And then let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Let your palms touch. Palms come to heart. Inhale, arms come back up. Let's keep them parallel to the ears. Second set, sitting in our chair. Shift the weight to the heels. Ground the toes if they're lifting. Lift the heart. Tuck the tail. Pull the navel in. Sit a little lower. Breathe. Hands come to touch. Bring the hands to heart center. And then we're going to take that right elbow to the left knee. So you can take the bind, if that's in your practice, hooking the elbow over the knee. And then if you want to take that a little further, let's open up both arms to the left side. Bring the hands back to heart and come back to center. Come to your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then from here, let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Let your palms touch. Palms come to heart. And then we're going to sit down. Shift the weight to the heels. And then we're going to bring that left elbow to the right knee. You can stay right here. Or you can hook the elbow and then open up both arms. Open up the chest. Gaze goes straight ahead or up towards the sky. Hands come back to heart. Come back to center. Let's forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. And then from here, let's come all the way down to another forward fold. And then we're going to walk our hands. We don't usually see ourselves do this, but I thought this would be a little fun. Bring the shoulders to stack over the wrists, coming to a plank, and then let's bring the knees down. Coming to a child's pose. Arms are extended. Third eye grounds. Let's walk the hands towards our knees. Let's inhale the arms up and lift yourself all the way up. Reach up and gently bring yourself to cactus arms. And let's reach back up again, and then let's take a bow. Sweep it down. Inhale, rise, bring the arms all the way back up. Lift yourself up. Come into cactus, and then reach back up. And then exhale, fall down to a bow. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, sweep up and back. Come all the way back up again and take that bow. 2 more. Inhale up, cactus, reach up, and then come all the way back down. Take the bow. Last one, reach up, and then take the bow. All right, inhale. Come all the way back up again. And then exhale, lower the arms down to your hips. And then just take a breath here. Let's extend that right leg out, nice and flat. Lower that right arm and inhale that left arm up and over. And then exhale it back down. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, reach up and over. And exhale, lower down. Last one. And then lower down. So hands can come to the hips. Heel toe that leg back. Realign and then extend that left leg out. Left hand rests on the thigh and the left thigh. And inhale that right arm up and over. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, lower down. And last one, reach over. And then gently come to rest your hands on your hips. Heel toe that leg back. Bring it back in. Beautiful. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, float the arms down, bring the hips down. And then let's bring the hips around, down to swing the legs around. All right, so this is always fun. Let's grab our knees and begin to do a little rock and forth. So probably easier to grab the hands just underneath the knees and then begin to massage your back by rocking back and forth. So you can adjust yourself to make sure that your head will land on the mat. And then come all the way down, bring the knees into the chest, and a nice squeeze. Bring the shoulders away from the ears and tuck the chin. And then let's release everything, arms over the head, legs extend for a full body stretch. And then gently bring the arms to a T. Bend your knees, and then we're going to windshield wipe it back and forth. Let the knees land on the right side, and then take that right ankle to the left thigh, to the top of the left thigh. And then gently take the gaze over to the left fingertips. Breathing nice and deep. And then gently let's release. Bring the knees back and windshield wipe the legs back and forth. And then let's drop the knees over to the left side. Gaze goes over to the right fingertips. And then let's take that left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Rest in this little twist. Let's come back to center, release the legs. Inhale the arms over the head for a full body stretch. Maybe taking that right knee in towards the chest, flex both feet. Maybe as we certainly did. And then guide that right knee to the right shoulder. Guide it back to center, release and full body stretch. And then gently bring that left knee into chest, flex both feet, and then guide it to the left shoulder. Feel that little pinch there in the hip. Let's release for another full body stretch. And then gently float the arms down. Take any last movements you want to take with your body that feel good to you as we begin to settle into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Letting your toes fall open and letting your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Softening the gaze or closing your eyes. Option to tuck the shoulders underneath the body, and that expands the collarbone. It'll bring your palms to open up a bit more and create some more space in the chest. Beautiful way to begin February by honing in on self-care, cultivating self-love for you to fill your fuel tank, to keep going and give and serve to others from your heart. Let the jaw be soft. Notice if there's any tension in the body and breathing into the spaces where you might feel some tension. Letting yourself release anything you may want to release that's not serving you through your exhales. Letting the cheeks be soft. Brows are soft. Allowing yourself to go into a deeper state of relaxation, accessing the body's natural ability to heal. So I am gently going to take myself out, but you guys stay there as I will move out. Hiding and seeking. When I let go of who I thought I had to be, I could finally and powerfully become who I really am. Oh, to find out I had been hiding and did not know that self-love had been looking for me all along. Let's begin to bring awareness back into the body by wiggling your toes and your fingers, and then gently rolling over to one side and guiding yourself all the way back up to seated. And joining me with the hands at heart center. Join me in bringing your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, down in front of your lips to speak kind words, and back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, grace, and inner strength. My heart to yours, thank you for letting me guide your practice of self-love and self